On today's episode, I'll be speaking with Becky Beach, a multiple six-figure mompreneur who's been featured in Business Insider and Forbes. Becky has earned over $1 million selling only digital products, and it's her passion to help others start their own six-figure and beyond digital product businesses. Becky lives in the Dallas area with her husband, son, and 3 fur babies. Becky also has bipolar disorder, and today she's going to talk about how she refused to let her mental illness stop her from starting a successful business. Hi, Becky. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hi. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you. And I know you said you're coming down with a little cold. You have a little laryngitis, right?
Oh yeah. I didn't want to cancel today because I was real excited to come on, so I'm just going to go and roll with it. Okay.
So I know I gave a little short intro of who you are, but why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do specifically?
Oh, sure. Well, I have a son named Brian. He's 8 years old. And I do have like 3 little cute fur babies that I think of them as emotional support animals. And I work from home so I can be with them. I used to work 9 to 5 for 20 years as a web developer. And I was really miserable. And I started coming down with carpal tunnel syndrome. It was like really bad for my hands. And I was worried I was going to need hand surgery. Like it was so bad. So I thought I got to do something. I can't live like this. That's why I started my business. And I was just growing a side hustle, blogging and selling printables, when I had some free time. And now I've grown it to a multiple 6-figure business. And so far I've made like over $1 million selling the printables, as you said. So I'm just really, really excited about my business journey, where I got started from. And it's just so wonderful. And I just love waking up every morning and be able to help people. It's just awesome.
That's so great. And you are helping so many people. You really are. You may not even realize all the ways that you are helping, whether it's you're using your gifts that God has put inside of you, you're using those gifts to help others. Maybe it's to stay organized or to cross things off their list, or just in starting a business. There's a lot of mothers listening now who want to start businesses. They have passions and they have nowhere to start. So I'm excited to delve into your story. So how long ago did you leave your job?
Well, I left it 2 years ago. Like I decided to quit. My boss told me not to quit. And he said, "Oh, you shouldn't quit your job because I really need you," because they laid off 30% of the workforce. I was at American Airlines and it was during COVID. So they didn't really have lots of people going on flights. So they laid out 30% of their workforce. But I was still working there. And he says, "Oh, we still need you because a lot of our team has left. We had to let go a lot of our team, but we kept you. So you need to stay." So I was feeling guilt tripped into staying, even though I could support my family with my business. I just kept on. And then a couple of months later, I said, "Oh, I got to, leave this job because it's interfering with my business and they're going to have me come back into the office. And I can't do that. I won't be able to work in my business if I'm in the office because they were letting us work from home." So, and when I got some free time, when I wasn't having to do something, I would work on my business,
So did you start your business during COVID?
Oh no, it was like when I was pregnant with my son, Brian.
Okay.
He's 8 years old now, but it was as a hobby for for the first, 3 years, I was just doing it as a hobby. Then when he hit 3, I said, "Oh, I got to do something, because I had a boss that was treating me like dirt and he was making me cry in the bathroom and I was just feeling so miserable and I didn't know what to do. So I thought, oh, maybe I should get serious about my blog, and grow that instead of just use it as a hobby. Because I was just posting about recipes like off and on. I wasn't really taking it seriously. So I thought I got to get serious. So I started studying courses and I watched YouTube videos and learned all I could about blogging and selling printables. And then soon I was making a lot of money in my, but so it was really great. And I was able to quit the job, because I just hated working there.
Wow. Yeah, I know that's the situation for a lot of mothers right now. They're not happy in their job and they're looking to do other things. So let's just go back a little, because I know you've been very open about having bipolar disorder. Mm-hmm. When were you first diagnosed with this?
Well, I was 18 years old. Like it was my senior year of high school. And I had a nervous breakdown at school. So they called the police and arrested me and brought me to a mental hospital, because I just had a breakdown at school, and it was like really traumatizing having people just arrest you right in your classroom. It was really an awful memory. And they brought me to a mental hospital and they said, "Yeah, it was like a mental illness," as I didn't know what was going on. Like it just happened to me. My mother suffered from schizophrenia And this just happened to me. I don't know why, or like, I guess because it's hereditary. And so they said, "Oh, you got bipolar disorder." And I go, "Oh, what's that?" They said, "Well, you have like ups and downs, like your mood just goes up and down, and we need you to be on medicine to stabilize you. So that way you're no longer getting like ups where you would go into manic or down where you get really depressed. So this medicine helps me keep level. And I haven't had any issues for like 8 years now. Been on my medication, and I've been doing really good on my medication. I found a combo that works well for me. Because I had my last episode was when I was pregnant with my son. When I gave birth, I actually had postpartum psychosis. There's one of my fur babies.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, I had postpartum psychosis, and I didn't care about my baby or anything. It was awful.
Wow. Yeah. And a lot of mothers are struggling with that too. And they're actually undiagnosed. Now, before you were diagnosed at 18, what did you think was happening to you? Like with your ups and downs, the mood swings and things like that. What did you think was happening? Like you and your parents, I guess.
Well, my dad kind of knew because he knew about my mother because she had that as well. So he knew from being married to her about her illness. We thought, oh, maybe she kind of got it from her mom. So he was like, he kind of knew the signs. And he also worked in mental health as an orderly at a mental hospital for a couple of years because he was a teacher. So he would do like side jobs, like or being an orderly or working at Six Flags. That's where, because I live in Arlington, so Six Flags is near me. So he kind of knew the signs that I had a mental illness. And when I was in class, I was like saying really big, really weird things and being disruptive. And I'm 6 feet tall and very big. And I guess they were scared because I was acting so strange in class. So they called a police officer to bring me to a hospital.
Wow.
It was really traumatizing. And I got arrested right in front of all my friends. It was so embarrassing.
Yeah, that's traumatizing. Now, did you go back to that school after you were diagnosed?
Oh, yeah, but nobody said anything. I guess maybe they told them what was happening. So nobody said anything. Like nobody teased me about it. Yeah, I almost didn't pass because I spent so much time in the hospital. And when I got off, I was on meds. It made my hands shake and I couldn't do my work.
I'm sorry you went through that. Now, during that time, sometimes it's helpful to actually have a diagnosis and to, actually get treatment. Now, did you find that during that time, because that's a pivotal year, 18, you were a senior, right? Like, what were you thinking about your future? Were you thinking that you could go to college? Like, were you thinking this was going to limit you in any way? What was going on in your head?
Oh, yes. I was at the top of my class. I was actually working towards going to Harvard because my grandfather went to Harvard. And so I had some alumni connections. And I really wanted to get into Harvard. So I was in all honors classes and making like really good grades. And I was at the top 10%.
Wow.
And I was really working towards getting into Harvard. But when I got into the nervous breakdown, I started failing all my classes. I couldn't focus on my work. And then plus when I got out of the hospital, I was on lithium and it made my hand shake and I couldn't do my work. So I had to leave a lot of classes, like some of my high classes that I wasn't able to complete any AP exams. You get college credit with AP. So I thought, I just totally wrecked my future. But then my dad got me into a college near my house, he said, well, you just go to this college because if you're not in college, you won't stay on my insurance and we won't be able to pay for your expensive medication and your doctor visits. So I said, okay, I guess I have to go to college, even though I'm in this mindset, of having this mental illness and just I'm trying to go get through life now because it's so new to me to suffer through this. Like I don't like this illness. Like I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It's very debilitating or what do you? I can't really
debilitating.
Yeah, debilitating. Yeah, and it's really difficult to suffer through if you're not on the right meds. So for a long time, I wasn't on the right meds. So then I failed college, and then my dad was able to get me back into college. I went to a remedial program, to make sure for people that have disabilities because I was considered disabled. So the doctor, wrote a note, and then I was able to get back into college. I ended up graduating 6 years later. So I'm a college graduate, even though I was suffering through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very challenging. I mean, but you did it. You graduated, even
yeah.
illness. So that's quite a feat. And is that when you started pursuing your web design? Was it web design or web development?
Oh yeah, web development. When I was in high school, I was actually making websites, and when I got into college, I was also making websites, and I made websites for local businesses. And then, after I graduated, I got a job doing web design for this rug company, and so I was able to, I was able to make a living, but for a while I wasn't able to find a job. But this time I was pretty stable on my medication, so I was able to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because a lot of people with my illness, they can't work and they got to get government assistance.
And there's a lot of people also with bipolar, they just don't want to take medicine. Maybe it doesn't make them feel good, or they don't have the right medicine, and they feel like it's better not to be on medicine. So that's great that you're on the right meds and it's helped you live a successful life.
Oh yeah, it sure has. Like, I would advise if somebody's on with bipolar or any other mental illness, they need to go to their doctor and just find the right meds. And if your doctor can't give you the right meds, find another doctor. Because I've been through like maybe 5 doctors in my life, and if the doctor's not giving me the right meds, then I go to another one. I just keep trying until I get the right combination. And now I'm on a good combination of meds. Mm-hmm. It's really helping me stay level, because I don't want to be too happy or too sad. So I just want to be in the middle, and that helps me focus. So I'm very focused. I'm able to make multiple 6 figures in my business. So I'm just doing really great. And I haven't had episodes since my postpartum psychosis.
Yeah. So, and going back to your business, so you were working your job for, you said, almost 20 years, and you decided to start a blog. Mm-hmm. And how did you, so you're still working your 9 to 5, you have your blog, and it's just, most people who start blogs, they're really not making much money because they're thinking that I want to start a blog. They're not necessarily thinking they want to monetize it.
Yeah.
When did you get into that mindset where, this needs to be a business? I need to be making money to replace my current income. How did that all start?
Well, like I said before, I had a really toxic boss, and he was making me cry in the bathroom. And I did disclose to him that I have bipolar disorder. So when he said awful stuff to me, I kind of remember my mother telling me bad things. My mother was mentally ill growing up, and she would tell me awful stuff, when she would abuse me. So I would think about that, and I would get really, really upset, and I couldn't work. And I would cry in the bathroom, and I'll go out to my car. So eventually he fired me. And so I was without a job for like 6 weeks, and then I got another job. But during that time, I started to really focus on my blog, and I took all kinds of courses, and I watched YouTube videos and learned all I could. During that time, I was out of work, and I was able to get the blog up to like 40 blog posts because I was working on it so much. And then when I got a new job, like it was at 7-Eleven headquarters in Las Colinas, Texas. And so I was able to, focus on that, but I was still having trouble focusing because I was so stressed. I had post-traumatic stress from that boss because he really did a lot to my mindset and lowered my self-esteem.
So is that when you decided at that job that you wanted to transition and work on your business full time? Was that the last position you had?
Oh, no. After that job, it was a 6-month contract. I was a contractor. So I got no benefits. Like my husband luckily has benefits at his job. So like, even though I'm working for myself, I'm able to use his benefits. So he pays for my medication and my doctor visits with his insurance. Mm-hmm. So after that job, it lasted 6 months. And immediately after, I got a job at American Airlines. And that lasted about 2 years and then until I quit. But that was a really good job. I really liked working there. The boss there, like he was firm, but he wasn't like the first one, like that one I was talking about earlier. Like that boss, there's something wrong with me. He must have had a power trip or something, but he wanted to make me feel 3 inches tall. And I'm a 6 foot tall woman. I'm not 3 inches tall. Like he's making me feel like that. Like he's his thumb on my head or something.
Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So after you left this last position, how did you first start making money from your blog? What were some strategies that you took?
Oh, well, I was making like just $100 a month when I was working at the 7-Eleven job. I was making like $100 a month, and my friends and family were laughing at me and telling me, "Oh, you got to quit. You're going to focus on your job, because you're going to get fired again. So you really got to focus." So I said, "Oh, okay, I'll just keep on." I was going to quit, but then something inside me, I was like, "Oh, I can't quit. I got to keep on doing this." So I just studied even more. And then I was able to get lots of traffic during COVID, because then COVID hit. And my blog was all about work from home content, making money, saving money. And that was really popular, extremely popular. I started getting 250,000 page views a month. And
Wow.
then I got into ad network and I started making just $5,000 from ads alone. And then I started selling printables on my blog. Like I sold printable planners and journals, and I sold financial spreadsheets. And then soon I was making like 10,000 a month from that. And I said, wow, I'm onto something here. I got to, quit this job because look at all the money I'm making. And I was able to work from home because it was COVID and the office was closed. And plus my child was home from daycare. I had to watch him. I'm in the middle of my living room. This is my dining room over here and my living room over here. So I'm kind of in the middle. My office is in the middle. So I could watch my sons. My office is still here. And I would watch my son on the couch, during COVID, so I was like, gosh, I just got to quit this job. But my boss wouldn't let me quit because, he said, we laid off 30% of the workforce. So he needs you. We can't have you quit your job, as at American Airlines. So I said, oh, okay, well, I'll stay with this, a few months more. But then I said, oh, I got to quit. So I eventually just said, hey, I got to quit. I have another position lined up, even though like that was kind of a fib because my new position was actually my business.
That was actually true. That was your new position though.
Yeah.
Your own business.
Yeah.
Wow. So you must have been working around the clock. If you have a full-time job, plus you're making all this money from your blog/website at this point. Now, how long were you able to do that before you were able to quit your job? Like you were making 10,000 a month, right?
Yeah, it was like a year, because it was during COVID, like 2020, and then like 2021, and then 2020. 2021, I finally quit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this 2 years now, full time. So it took like a year because I got so much traffic. Because when you get an influx of traffic like that, because all my content was targeted to working from home and making money, and people wanted to do that during COVID. They all wanted to work from home, and my blog was coming up number one on the first page of Google, for a lot of my content, and it was just the traffic was going through the roof. And like one day, I got 1 million in one day because Google featured one of my blog posts on passive income. It got like this app. And they featured me in the app, and I got so much traffic, and I was like, oh, I wish I would have monetized that blog post. So then like the next day I put in like a product, but by then my blog post was gone from the app. So I didn't really get much. I didn't really get much money from that product. So now I put products in all my blog posts, and I put email opt-in forms and that redirect to a sales page in all my blog posts. So my blog is making me money 24/7. It's like a salesperson that's working for me without being paid,
Yeah. I mean, you really did it the smart way. I mean, I started an Etsy shop during COVID, just as a little side thing, just selling printables because I didn't want to have a physical product that I'm mailing out to people because that's a lot of work in and of itself. So that's really a smart business model that you did, just only selling digital products. So you never have to actually send out products. People can just go buy a product from your website and just download it. And that's how all of your products are. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, it is. Like I was drop shipping for a while when I was working my job. And that was awful because I just stopped drop shipping because COVID hit and the China factory closed. So then I turned to only digital products. But I did have a drop shipping store for a while that was selling mom purses and stuff.
So how long has your business been making more than six figures for you? Is it the last 2 years that it's been consistent like that?
Oh no, probably the last 3 years because that 1 year I was working at the 9-to-5 job, like that income soared then. And I was like making 20,000 a month at the job. Yes. But then when I quit, I got the income up to 30,000 a month. And now I'm trying to do some higher end programs and higher end courses to hope to boost my income up to 50,000 a month.
Very nice. There's moms listening who want to do what you're doing. They just want to start a blog. So I coach moms on starting blogs strategically. You could start a blog, but no one comes to your website. So when you were thinking to start your blog, when you were thinking to make money, were you thinking search engine optimization like SEO at that time? Is that how you were able to get so much traffic?
Well, I also utilized Pinterest because I got really good at Pinterest, because of my bipolar disorder, I find that I'm able to focus on certain things and not get tired of it because I can just focus on something kind of like a savant. And I would just focus on Pinterest. And I learned all I could about Pinterest. I got super, super interested in Pinterest. This happened to me before because sometimes I would get interested on a topic and I just couldn't stop thinking about that topic, and I'll learn all I could. And like previously, I would be interested in mafias, like stuff like that, like real interested in a topic. But this time I got really interested in Pinterest, and I just got super focused on Pinterest, and I just learned all that I could. I made courses on Pinterest, and I was getting like a lot of my traffic from Pinterest, most of it. And then I started focusing on Google, and I got really into Google SEO, and like a savant, I just kept focusing on it because of my bipolar. I know it's a bad to have it, but then the same thing, it can also help you be hyper focused.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to explain, but it's like a superpower.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because you still have gifts, even with something that may look like a stronghold or a struggle. You can find a purpose even in that. So I'm so glad that you brought that up. It's like a superpower. It was able to help you to focus and create all these wonderful products. How many products do you have on your website now?
Oh, I got multiple stores. Like, I have a Shopify store that probably has over 100 products now. And I have a commercial use printable store that probably has like over 1,000 products on there. And also have a teachers pay teacher store, and that probably has about 30 products. I'm not as invested in teachers pay teachers because it's kind of saturated nowadays. At first I was making good money, but now it's saturated. So I find that, like, when I send traffic to my own sites, I seem to get more money than I am with these on Etsy and teachers pay teachers, because it's so saturated with other people there. And plus they advertise other people's products on your sales page. And that's not really good for you, because even if you run ads and drive traffic, like people could still go to somebody else's product, because that's a downfall,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's amazing that you have all this. Do you have a team of people working for you now?
No, I just have one VA that works full time. She's in the Philippines, and I've known her for for about 4 years now. Like, I hired her 4 years ago, and she's just been working for me since. But then I decided to hire her full time this year. Before, she was just a contractor, but she's really impressed me. Like, she does have some problems, like there's a lot of weather trouble in the Philippines, because they're during the middle of like hurricane season. So she has some trouble sometimes, and internet issues, but that's understood, because people in the Philippines don't have the best internet, but she does what she can.
Now, how do you manage stress now? You work from home, you work for yourself, you have your own business. So, let's say before you would have to go cry in the bathroom at work because of your boss. Like, are there days where it just gets overwhelming and you have to have time for self-care? Like, what does that look like for you now?
Oh, yes. Every Friday, I take off the afternoon for self-care. Like, I'll get my nails done. I like to get my nails done in pretty things like this is owls and Halloween.
Oh, nice. It's pretty.
And I need to get my hair recolored, because my son gave me a lot of gray hairs. So
I think all kids do that to their moms.
Yeah. I like to go shopping. I got this pretty top, recently. And I like to get jewelry and, and do lots of self-care. And I got this Wonder Woman ring recently.
Oh, nice.
I'm on Wonder Woman,
Uh-huh.
Yes, I do lots of nice things for myself and do self-care, because otherwise I'll get really stressed out. And stress brings on my symptoms of bipolar. So I find that if I stress myself out, then I get racing thoughts. I'm unable to work. Like, I'll get like cycling thoughts, they call it. My mind just gets full of all these thoughts, and I can't do anything. So I'll just lay in bed, and then I'll do meditation until it's over with.
That's good that you take care of yourself, because a lot of moms who have their own businesses, they work around the clock because, it is a passion, but they never turn it off. So that's good that you know how to take care of yourself, because when you take care of yourself, you're also taking care of your children and your family. So, it's a rippling effect.
Yeah. Yes. I set boundaries. Like, I get up every morning at 9 a.m. because I don't like to get up early. Before, I was having to get up at 5 a.m. to work on my business. Before, I had to do an hour commute. So I was just wasting all this time in the car. So I listen to business podcasts, on my way to work and back.
Yeah.
I was working in Dallas. Ugh, it's awful, because I'm in Arlington, and Dallas. The traffic is horrible.
Well, at least you use your time wisely.
Yes.
Now, what would you say to a mom listening? Let's say she wants to start an online business and she has no idea where to start. Let's say she wants to start selling a printable. Like, do you have any suggestion on how she could start?
Oh yeah, I would just look on Etsy, and then search printables, and just get some ideas about what other people are doing. And the ones ranking at the top usually are getting the most sales. So then you can get ideas, but don't copy, because copying, I never copy anybody. I like to just get inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Look to see what else is selling, and get ideas and look at what keywords they're using. And then
Yeah.
maybe get like a piece of paper and a pencil and write the keywords down that you see.
Right.
And then like maybe sketch out the printable, best you can. I know it can be hard. Not everybody's an artist. Like I actually studied graphic design in college. I was going to go to college to be a doctor.
Mm.
My mother and dad were pushing me to be a doctor. So I wanted to go to Harvard Medical School. So I ended up majoring in graphic design. So I do have lots of design knowledge, and that helps me. But somebody without design knowledge, you can just go to Canva, and Canva has a lot of already done templates. And you can just modify the templates, and customize them so they're no longer resemble the template you had there.
Yeah.
But don't copy their templates and sell them like that. That's not the way to go about it.
Right.
But they do have some templates you can just get started from. And I also have a YouTube channel where I have free Canva tutorials. And I'll make sure to give you that link so you can give it to your watchers.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what other services do you provide for moms? I know you have a lot of courses. You do group coaching as well, right?
Oh, yes. I have a membership called the Business Beach Club, because my last name's Beach. And it's been going on 2 years since I quit my job. And it's grown to over 250 members. And I offer group coaching in the pro version. There's 2 tiers. One is $29 a month. And the one that has group coaching is $99 a month. And the group coaching has about 50 members in it. But not many people show up to the call, so I'm able to help give them lots of one-on-one time. But the $129, you get access to all my courses, and it just helps you get started with selling printables really fast, because I just spent so much money trying to get started with this. And I probably spent over $50,000 in total, on my journey.
Wow.
So I said, I got to do something. I can't, have these people spend all this money. You don't need to spend all this money. I need to create a program that will help them. It's just a low price most people can afford. If you just stop drinking coffee at Starbucks for the month, you could afford this membership. It's $5. Usually some people spend $5 a day buying coffee.
Right. Yeah. So, and you have a lot of courses there in this membership too. What are some of the courses that you offer?
Well, I got one called Printable. I started this one called Printables Academy, where I got Printables Affiliate Academy, Printables SEO Academy, Printables Pinning Academy, which is about Pinterest. And I got Printable Shop, which shows how to make a Etsy shop. And I got ones like that. And I got email, called Coffee Talk Emails, which it tells you how to sell to your email list in a way that so you're selling like a friend.
Yeah.
I write my email list every single day. I got 3 email lists now.
Oh.
And I write them every day when I can, because I see this bipolar just gets me really focused, and it just, especially when I'm on the meds, the meds help me be really focused on certain things. I'm just able to be laser focused on what I'm working on, and I don't really got distractions, because this medication just helps me be really focused.
Yeah, that's a gift right there, because a lot of people are having struggles with focusing. And I think some of the printables that you sell are for organization and things along those lines, right? Time management.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. One other course, the membership is Productivity Made Easy Mastermind, and show how I've been able to trick my brain into being productive. Because a lot of times I'll be like, squirrel, 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 but I trick myself and say, oh, you got to be focused. You can't be focused on one thing. So I only do one thing a day. Because if I do, I can't multitask. I find that because I'm on this medication, I can't multitask, because I just go haywire. Can't do it. Yeah.
How many hours per week would you say that you work now on your business?
Well, I work 9 to 4, and I go pick my son up at 4:00 from his school. I'm able to afford to have him in a private school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go pick him up at his school, at 4, and I leave. And then, so I only work 9 to 4, but if I take a lunch break around noon, so I go outside and I'll drink my protein shake, because I'm on Monjaro. It's a weight loss drug, and I've lost 50 pounds on it. So I like to make sure I drink a lot of protein.
Mm. And before we wrap up, what would you say to a mom listening? Maybe she does have a mental illness, or maybe she just feels stuck in her journey just in life, but they have dreams and passions, but they don't even know where to begin. What would you say to those moms?
Well, I say don't use it as a crutch, because whatever you have, you makes you different. because you're neurodivergent. You think differently from other people. So you use that. And there's been so many famous people, like Charles Dickens suffered from bipolar, and Vincent Van Gogh suffered from it. And look what they've done. They've created these amazing works of art and literature. So there's even these famous people that have had mental illnesses and didn't let that stop them. So you can do the same. Like, just because you have mental illness doesn't mean that you're less than somebody else. For a long time, I was afraid to talk about my illness. I was afraid that there was a stigmatism that people would think less of me, because of my illness.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually a superpower, and it enables me to be different and think differently outside the box than other people can. So I don't let it bother me. Yeah. So if you're suffering from mental illness, don't let it bother you. It makes you different, because makes you more unique, makes you think differently.
Yes. I love that you said, I love that you're giving yourself a hug, because that is.
Yeah, I do that to comfort myself.
Oh, I love that so much. You are truly an inspiration, Becky. I'm so happy that you came on the show. Now, where can people find you if they want to know more about you and the services and products that you offer?
Well, you could go to my blog. It's called mompreneur.com. And I got links there to all my stores, and then how you can join my membership, and then how you can work with me. I have my coaching website listed there too on the links. And there's lots of work from home content. If like selling printables isn't right for you, there's all these different jobs I talk about on my blog, and so it's like a really good place to just get lots of knowledge about how you can work from home or work for yourself.
Hey moms, thanks for listening today. If you enjoy this show, I would love to hear from you by way of an encouraging review. This podcast is meant to be a blessing to mothers, so I appreciate any support for this platform. Until next time.